where we start the hour with Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island. Tell me what you thought watching your colleague do that.
You know, Cory, every once in a while, can just deliver an incredible moment. I happened to be in the Judiciary Committee when Kendra Brown Jackson was being just pilloried, just vile, repeat accusations, scorn, contempt, all the stuff Cory's talking about, pouring on her from the Republican murderer's row that was set up to try to humiliate and degrade her. And then the questioning came to Cory, and you could just, he rose to that moment. This is like the short form. It didn't take 25 hours. He probably had 7 minutes, but you could see the room lighten up. You could see the nominee, now Justice Jackson's spirits lift. He met that moment and the mood of that moment in such a wonderful, soulful, engaged way. And, you know, the night before last, he kind of did that for 25 hours. So, you know, way to go, Cory.
Did he change how you feel about what Democrats can do in the minority?
Well, I've been kind of at this for a while now.
I know, so, swinging away.
Yeah, Battleship Whitehouse has been after these creepy billionaire bastards for a long time. So, you know, I kind of been ready. We sailed into worse weather, and Cory's speech certainly gave me optimism that while we're sailing through worse weather, there's sunshine on the other side of it. You know, Churchill used to talk about in the dark days when England was being tormented by Hitler, that if we do these things, we'll get to broad and sunlit uplands, And in his own way, Cory showed the broad and sunlit uplands of the real American character and called us back to that. And I think that was the real value of it. But as you know, our battleship has been in this battle for a long time now. So no big changes for me personally, but I do think that sense of uplift and possibility was really special.
But you have to have had the conversations in the last 30 hours that I've had. I mean, I run into people who I don't think sit and consume as much cable news, right, as you or I do, who know what Cory Booker was doing, who said, do you know how I can find his number to call him and thank him? I mean, something happened outside of the Senate chamber in the country.
Totally. I think he's up to like 350 million likes on TikTok. And we had just helped him get on TikTok the previous day. So he lit the place up. So, yeah, this had a huge effect across the country. And if it's really 350 million and those aren't kind of repeats being double counted, that's all of us. So it's obviously around the world as well. So, yeah, I think the biggest effect of his speech was not so much in the Senate as it was in the outer world of people listening. When you do 25 hours, you break through. And where your message is his, that's a good message to get out there. And I think a lot of people felt heard and engaged because of it. So I think it's going to have a real effect.
Well, I mean, and then you take it, I mean, I've called them twin pillars, but you take his moment and all of the contact that people have had with even a moment of it, right? They're the live streams, which are monumental numbers as well. And then there's all this contact with what he was doing. And then all these people looking for his number to call him and thank him for doing something. And to your point, you're doing something all day, every day in the minority and the majority, and it's constant. But some of it is just reminding people that they have agency. I mean, the greatest success of MAGA and the swerve toward authoritarianism is making people feel trapped on a path, making people feel like those little race cars that are in the rut and they just have to go around and around the track. That is its greatest accomplishment. Because, I'm fixated on the law firms that keep going in and bending. Paul Weiss, the firm that represented the country's most powerful and prominent Democrats to go in there on bended knee, offer to do $40 million of pro bono work. Like Trump's not a philanthropist. I don't even know what that means. The idea that people are caving to him over executive orders in that instance that a federal judge described as unconstitutional on multiple grounds and giving her a, quote, chill down her spine is about a mindset. And the idea that, one, Cory Booker's single act carried out over 25 hours has broken through to hundreds of millions of people. And two, that when voters actually had a chance to, walk into a voting booth, they said not just no, but hell no, feels like a real moment.
I think it has really been a really significant 24 hours. Cory's speech was an important part of it. Wisconsin's voting was a big thing, particularly after that clown Musk went up there and jumped around on stage with his cheese head on and made himself the center of attention. So he has really disabled himself as a credible entity among Republicans, because they're the ones who are going to have to face a whole bigger crew of voters in November of 26. And the more we can paint them with Elon Musk and his cruel and stupid antics, the more trouble that they're going to be in. And they know that now. I mean, there was a 16, 17 point shift in those two Florida districts.
Yeah.
We didn't win them, but we cut a 30-point difference in half. So if you're in a 14-point Republican district right now, or a 12-point Republican district right now, you're looking around and saying, oh, crap.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I made the point earlier, if there wasn't such a fire hose of news, we would all be fixated on that margin in Florida, right? Two races that Democrats lost, but where they have the margin, and there'd be maps all over the place. And this is our era, right? We should have these maps up of exactly that category of people who won by 14 points or less, because they're all now target races. I mean, the entire political landscape in the country for the midterms has cataclysmically changed for the Republican Party. What do Democrats do?
And they know it.
And they know it. But how do you keep the, your foot on the pedal?
I think, our themes have consistently been chaos and incompetence. And boy, did we get a signal gate demonstration of chaos and incompetence that is unforgettable on that. And it's been costs. And folks going into their grocery stores are seeing costs going up. They're getting home insurance bills that are blowing through the roof. The cost situation is completely turned against Trump after he ran on that. And then you've got the other C is corruption. And the rampant corruption is so obvious and so disgraceful and disgusting that we'll have such a tale to tell in 26 about how these guys sold people out for the most corrupt and foul of motives, particularly with respect to the fossil fuel industry, which has just been grotesque through all of this. After there was a visible deal where Trump said, give me $1 billion, I'll give you your wish list. Well, we know he got 100 million, and we know they're getting the wish list. I mean, how do you beat that story on corruption? So we have so many tools. I'll close by saying this, Nicolle. I've been a prosecutor. And when you're a prosecutor, something bad happens that is sudden and violent. A smash and grab of a store window, a woman assaulted in an alley, a stabbing in somebody's home. And what you'd like is for the response to be instantaneous, the superhero to drop down and make it all right away. That doesn't happen. But with a little bit of time and with a little bit of skill, the prosecutor makes the case. And when you get before the jury and you can lay out the whole case of the foul misdeeds that were done and get the verdict, you may not have got it as quick as you'd like, but you get it. And 2026 is our jury, and we will have the evidence to get that verdict.
Wow. And you've got, I guess, in the words of the voters that have spoken out in Wisconsin, you've been able to test some of the evidence. I mean, the problem that Trump seems to have right now is that the evidence doesn't need to be filtered through the media. It doesn't need to be filtered through any elected officials in the Democratic or Republican Party. It is lived. I mean, the corruption, to your point, is in front of their faces. They're not trying to hide it this time. The incompetence is everywhere you look. Every person that has a phone has a group chat and knows what they have done. And the costs are going to be in front of their face, too, especially tomorrow after the tariff announcement. Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, please come back. Thank you for being here today.
Thanks for having me on.
Thank you.